Hello and welcome to the Heart of Markness Led Zeppelin podcast, episode 105. It's become a regular thing, huh? I guess we're going steady. So, I take it by this point that you're not listening to other podcasts. Because, if you've been listening to me for 105 episodes and, you're still listening to other podcasts. There's a word for that. But I'll be a gentleman. Slut. So, welcome. We're going to do... I actually started doing a whole other episode yesterday, kind of in a panic. Because I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And then I realized, oh yeah, part 2. Last week's episode of the In Celebration for a King Landover compilation done by Led Zeppelin Rarities got such positive responses. Like the only other episode that I think had as much heat was the 100th episode, which was fun. I really like that. That's my favorite episode so far, the 100th. And if you're just jumping in here, listen to that one when you have a second to get a flavor for the show, because it's a good one. Now this is for if this is your first visit here. Hello, welcome. Take off your shoes. Sit over there. And this is a compilation made from the best bits of the Landover run of the 1977 tour, which was in late May, I think 25th through the 30th, 1977. It was done by Led Zeppelin Rarities, the YouTuber Led Zeppelin Rarities, with that YouTube channel, which is a brilliant channel. And he chose Landover, I believe, from what I read, because this run of shows, first of all, is a nice run of shows, but it has soundboard recordings available for this, as well as decent audio recordings. Audience recordings. And as such could be used to make really nice matrix recordings, which is when one judiciously and painstakingly syncs up a soundboard and audience recording from the same show, or 2 audience recordings from the same, 2 recordings of the same show, matches them up time-wise, which is a pain in the ass, which is why there's no Heart of Markness matrix recordings out there, because I do not have the patience to see a project like that through. I might be able to do a song, but I don't know. I would probably just say fuck it, because that's how I roll, for better or worse. Anyhow, Led Zeppelin Rarities did not say fuck it. He really worked on it, and he created the excellent Dancing in the Doldrums 1980 compilation, which is the same thing, taking audience and soundboard recordings from the 80 tour, predominantly the early 1980 tour, and putting out just a fucking joyous recording. And dude, if you're listening, sir, Led Zeppelin Rarities, and I call you that because I cannot remember your name on the Discord, and if I guess, it will 100% be wrong. But if you do that same AI mastering treatment to Dancing in the Doldrums as you did to this one, holy shit, that would be brilliant. Please, please, please do that. And if you already have done that, good enough. You can only polish a turd so bright. Anyhow, this particular one is not a turd. It is a great recording, and it sounds, to my ears, if you're just playing it and doing stuff, it sounds like an official recording. If you're playing it while you're just sitting and watching TV, well, you wouldn't be watching TV, or just jamming out to it, it sounds essentially like an official recording. Now, you can only do so much, and matrices tend to have issues with phase, because you can only sync everything up so much. Now, you can do enough for the ear to hear it and go, wow, sounds like one recording. But things like cymbals, something that's oscillating at a high frequency at a very high rate, the chance that every single one of those little sound waves of the vibration of a crash cymbal is going to be syncable with what we have today, or at least with what we're doing, is highly unlikely. So you can get things that are washed out. You can get weird little artifacts, like somewhere in one of the songs, I think it might have been No Quarter of this recording, there's something that sounds like a tink, like somebody's tapping a wrench against a pipe underwater, kind of. And I don't know what that is. Totally fine. Totally fine. This thing is legendary. This recording is game-changing, at least for me. It sounds amazing. It brings vibrancy and depth and bass to this show, to this tour. Holy shit. I listen to this thing for fun. Not just for my job. But, I listen to this on my own time, and it is so good. And I'm not a fan, as you all know, I was not a fan of the 77 tour. I'm still not a fan of it as far as performance quality and consistency. I really like those, as if you listen for a while, you know, I really like the early holy shit on fire, unbelievably tight, like 1970, late 69, 70, 71 kind of thing. But Jesus Christ, this is incredible. And we're going to hear more of it because a lot of you said more, part 2. And when I say a lot of you, I really mean a lot of you. This is a niche podcast. The audience is in the hundreds to low thousands. Over time, since these things are kind of eternal, it's definitely in the thousands. But, it's nothing like Ramble on Radio, which is easily in the hundred thousands. Which is another podcast you should listen to for Led Zeppelin. It's more news-based. Although lately he's been going more performance. But it's a great Led Zeppelin podcast. Good stuff. You can never get enough. Ramble on Radio, endorsed by the Heart of Markness. Anywho, holy shit, I am wound up. It is warm today, and it is beautiful. It's in the high 70s. Which means my upstairs room is warm, but not too warm yet. So on the way home from work, I stopped and I grabbed a beer. I brought it home with me. I didn't stop at a bar and had a beer. And I've been having it, and it is delicious. And I love dark beers. I love stouts and porters, which don't necessarily go well with hot weather. But it's a giant bottle, 22-ouncer, Dragon's Milk Stout. And it is really good, except it has a ridiculous amount of alcohol for beer. It has like wine, and I've drunk half of it, which means I've had like 2 glasses of wine. So I've got a little bit of a tingle going on, which is why I'm so verbose. You're always verbose, Mark. I know. Usually it's because you're stoned. Shut up. Don't put a spotlight on my problems. Actually, I don't even think it's a problem. I think it's more a solution, or at least an avocation. Anyhow, 8 minutes into it. Have I given the dates yet? May 25th to the 30th, I think. This is done as a compilation, and by doing such... Oh, yes, Led Zeppelin Rarities not only made these matrices, which is great, he would grab... Not all the songs are all from the same night. Much like a live recording, like the song remains the same soundtrack, Led Zeppelin Rarities would cut and paste little snippets, like if half of... Or one section of No Quarter was better on night 1 than it was on night 5, and night 5 makes up the primary bulk of the No Quarter used. This is all just hypothetical. Then sections would be cut out and dropped in and synced up and matched for tonal, compatibility, so it doesn't just sound like... And as we wind down... There's not that kind of shit. It's incredible. It's like a live album in that way, so that like the best everything is all folded together and then presented in a professional sounding package. It is really enjoyable, and he used... I don't have my notes open now, so if you want the specificities, listen to part 1 of this. These are part 2 is more for generalities and thumbnail sketches, big picture stuff, yes. Oh, what happened? Oh, shit. TV turned off for a second and terrified me. I think it was just the screensaver. Anyhow, he used an AI mastering program, which is more than just an algorithm, but actual AI used to approach it from a million different ways and extrapolate what would the low frequencies be on the bass. How can we extrapolate that from the data at hand? What can we extract from the recording? If there are tones that aren't on the recording but statistically and scientifically should be there, do we insert them? Crazy good shit. Crazy good shit. And it results in a remarkable recording. Jesus Christ. I can't believe this. And I can't believe it's a 77 show. And it's not New York or LA. I mean, the New York shows haven't won me over yet, but the LA, I mean, everybody knows those shows. Mike Millard taped them and they sound great. Holy shit. If we can get a soundboard of one of the Millard shows and then have Led Zeppelin Rarities throw together one of these things with a Millard tape and a soundboard, Jesus fuck, that would be incredible. All right. Hey, look, 11 minutes and 30 seconds without playing a single note for you. There you go. My work is done. All right. Let's jump into this. This is Nobody's Fault But Mine from the In Celebration for a King compilation, which is available either by going to Led Zeppelin Rarities YouTube channel and downloading it there. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Sorry. That was building for a while. Allergies are still killing me. Or you can go to hardermarkness.com and grab it there. You can have the whole goddamn thing for free because that's how we do it. Notice how I put we in there? Led Zeppelin Rarities does 100% of the work, and I grab it and go, here, you can have it too. Yeah, that's how it works. Give me all the credit. No. Led Zeppelin Rarities, magnificent. Makes me angry how good you are. All right, Nobody's Fault But Mine. Ladies and germs, enjoy. Jesus Christ, that was good. I hope you enjoyed it. That was amazing. Well, given the response you had to the last one, this one's going to be, yeah, you enjoyed it. You liked it. All right, friends. Well, I could bullshit for another 11 and a half minutes, or we could jump into the next song. I really love Nobody's Fault But Mine live. I like it better live than on Presence, because I don't care for the guitar tone on Nobody's Fault But Mine on Presence, because it's a song that needs some distortion. At least the way they're playing it, it needs some distortion. It needs a little tiny bit of metal. And on Presence, it's played like the solo is kind of rockabilly. I mean, it's good, but it just, I don't know. I like the live one better, I guess. You don't know me. I can like things. Actually, you do know me, because I lay it all out there for you. In a way. 20 minutes in. All right. Well, let's jump ahead and go to the next 800-year song we're going to play, which is going to be awesome, and it is awesome. It is 10 Years Gone. Again, from the Landover run, 1977. All praise goes to Led Zeppelin Rarities for putting together this magnificent piece of work in celebration for a king. Enjoy 10 Years Gone.
Then again it will be. Though the course may change sometimes, rivers always reach the sea. Flying skies of fortune, each a separate way. On the wings of maybe, doubting birds of prey. Changes fill my time, but baby, that's alright with me. In the mix, I think of you and how it used to be. Oh, baby. in my dreams with great surprise to me. I never thought I'd see your face the way it used to be. Oh, darling, oh, darling, yeah. Oh, baby, oh, mama, yeah, yeah.
Very nice, right? Man, the sound is pretty fucking good. I love it. I mean, if this is what we can do now with what one skilled, dedicated human can do, I mean, in 5 years, we're going to be able to pull gold from horrible audience tapes. AI is going to reach a point where it's going to be able to extrapolate what the sound would be minus all the tape hiss, minus the audience, minus this, minus that, adding to this. It's incredible. You know, all that software that can take herky-jerky little old silent movies and then make them smooth and super high def and then colorized really well. All that's happening in audio too. So it's only going to get better. And fuck, the Dogs of Doom just released another tape that, wow, I can't remember anything. I think it was April 9th, 1970. Fuck. Anyways, there's a brand new tape that I was going to do this week, but it doesn't sound fantastic. It's going to be one of those ones where people are going to be like, I appreciate the value of a new recording, but honestly, if the recording is unintelligible, then why? I get it. I get it. Which is why I was kind of like hesitant to do that this week. And I remembered, oh shit, I have part 2, which made me happy. So, anyway, there's more stuff being dug up by by lots of folks, but primarily lately by the Dogs of Doom Discord release group, the guys who did Badge Holders Blues. And My God, there's all this new stuff, or old stuff that's being cleaned up and made better, and new stuff that hasn't come out, and just it's a great time. It's a great time to be a Led Zeppelin fan. And I imagine this is happening across all platforms. I mean, I'm sure I saw somebody had released a Genesis video from 1973 at the Bataclan in Paris, cleaned it up and restored the 16 millimeter and made it super clean, high def, 4K gorgeousness. You know, Pink Floyd, every fandom has this, and it's great because that means the casual fans, like I'm a Pink Floyd fan in that I have all their albums, and by all their albums I mean from metal through the final cut. Um, but I'm not a big live Pink Floyd aficionado, so when I go for like what's the best 75 show? This one that sounds terrible. What's the best sounding 75 show? This one, but it's not the best. I don't give a fuck. It sounds great. Put it on. It's not bad. It's that hair splitting, like this. That 10 Years Gone we listened to, it's not the best 10 Years Gone ever performed. But because it sounds so fucking good and it's performed ably, it's good. And that's how I am with everything but Led Zeppelin. And, you know, the fact that this kind of thing is happening all across the board, it's nothing but good news. All this information being restored, augmented, and then distributed, and the original source material is still there, so nothing is lost. It's just amazing. Now, all we have to do is not have a thermonuclear war that puts out an electromagnetic pulse that fries everything electronic, and we're instantly back in 1924. And we'll be good. So good. All right. Well, if you like what I do and you like how I do it, you are invited to explore the possibility of perhaps becoming a patron of this fine podcast by going to patreon.com/heartofmarkness, or look at the giant Patreon button, banner, whatever you want to call it, at heartofmarkness.com. heartofmarkness.com, where you can find almost every show that I cover here in its entirety for free for you to download, because that's how this whole thing works. All this great music is free. Led Zeppelin Rarities did not do this for profit, but he has to in a capitalist system. I know. Settle down, Ayn Rand. John Galt, take it down a notch. He did it out of love. Love for the band, love for the music, and love for the fans. And that's amazing. And all this is free, which is why it's not illegal. These are not bootlegs. Bootlegs are sold illegally, and it's a federal crime. The band doesn't care. Most bands do not care if their live recordings, illicitly made, are traded freely or shared freely. Some bands do. Allman Brothers don't like it, which is why you don't see Allman Brothers on a lot of the good BitTorrent sites. Fair enough. But Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page said multiple times, I think he even said it in court for a bootlegging case where some Scottish dude actually went to jail for quite a while, that he doesn't care if this stuff is shared. You know, he doesn't want people making money, making a profit off their performance, which I understand. Wow. Sorry, rambling. And then in 1684, John Locke used the word usufruct for the first time. Sorry, guys. Starting to babble. No, continuing to babble, actually. All right, what am I doing? Oh, yes, I am also on Twitter at Heart of Markness. Facebook, Heart of Markness. You're seeing the thread here. YouTube. You can get all these podcasts on YouTube, which, statistically, you're a boomer. You're 45 to 65. And therefore, YouTube is your go-to. And that's cool. I'm on YouTube as well, is the TLDR of it. So you can listen to me at work, and I will never leave you. I will never leave you. And what else? Facebook, Patreon. Okay, I think I got it. Oh, I have to read the names of the patrons. These are the titans upon whose shoulders rests the heart of Markness. We have Knegarn, Jeff, Chris, Michael, Rob from Melbourne, Australia, Wayne, Brad, Danielle, Tracy, David, Mark, Other David, Bonzo Billy, and Mimo. Special shout out to Avi of the Raven Avatar. Sorry about that. That came out of nowhere. I apologize. No one wants to hear that. Avi of the Raven Avatar, special shout out. And much love to patron emeritus Jeremy, who hooked up my avatar and the microphone through which I'm speaking with you, and is just one of the best human beings I have ever known in my life. So yay. All right, you and honorary patron, because he's still a little boy in high school and can't join, Evan. I'm sorry, that was shitty, Evan, because he likes Led Zeppelin, but he's not 18 yet and he can't be a patron. Hey, Evan, how's it going, brother? Sorry about that. All right. One more song left, and it's a doozy. It's a good one. It is Kashmir, and it is fucking good, friendos. You're going to enjoy it. Alrighty, again, this is from the Landover stretch of the 1977 tour, put together by Led Zeppelin Rarities. I am merely taking what he did, hanging it outside my shop, and saying, look at this. Enjoy.
I am a traveler.
What an incredible band. Oh, what am I recording on here? Oh, I'm recording on the 10 Years Gone channel. Whatever. It's all the same in the end. All right, friendos. That is it. See, I kept you less than an hour today, even though I chattered your brain off for a while at the beginning. I am merciful. Okie dokie. If you like this, go to heartofmarkness.com or Led Zeppelin Rarities YouTube channel and grab this. It is exceptional. Sorry, guys. Apologies. Everything is pollinating and it's killing me. Alrighty. In fact, I'm going to pause for a second. Oh, that's better. Whew, I forgot about the pause button. Sorry. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do next week, but it may be that new release, because that needs to get out there as far as people need to know about it from Dogs of Doom. Or it may be something else. If there's something that you like, not March 24th, 1975, uh, it's just Jimmy's way out of tune. It's not a good Jimmy show, man. Um, Drop me a line on one of my various market heartofmarkness.com or one of the 10,000 avenues through which you can reach me. And I will take it under consideration. All right, friends, thank you so much for listening and so much for letting me do this and supporting me while I do this and listening to what I do and enjoying what I do. It really means the world to me, and I thank you. Be good to yourselves and each other, and good night.